Hey everyone, welcome to Encore, and today we're going to talk about how to use a color corrector green, so keep watching.
Hey everyone, it's Corin, and you're watching EnKoreMakeup. Blend, blend, blend.
Hi, Corin. Stop using my lipstick.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So I know many of you guys are wondering what color adjusters are versus color correctors. And color correctors, you see them in many shades like green and lavender and salmon. And those are probably the three most popular colors, and there's also yellow. But the most popular ones that everyone's kind of like curious about are the green, lavender, and salmon. And don't get that confused with color adjusters because those are completely different products with different purposes, okay? So color correctors, much like you see out in the market, are usually kind of like in cream form. They look like concealers, but they're not flesh colored or flesh tones. And those are used to correct certain imperfections that are kind of permanent or semi-permanent. Okay, we're going to talk about that today. And then color adjusters, which is probably going to be a completely separate video, is to adjust your product's undertones. So today we're going to focus on color correctors, okay, especially green. Now before we go on, I just want to review a little bit of color theory. Now it goes back to color theory, and in a color wheel, you will see that each color has a direct complementary color, okay? And what that means is that when you put those two colors side by side, they're going to complement each other and make each other stand out, okay? It's going to make them like more vivid, more colorful, and it's just a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Now if you put them on top of each other, okay, so which means that you mix those two colors together, they neutralize each other, so they cancel each other out. Okay, so in a color wheel, you'll see that red is a direct complementary color of green. So that's why Christmas color is so pleasing to the eye, and it looks amazing because red and green right next to each other looks great because they're complementing each other, of course, but when you put them on top of each other, they also cancel them out. So much like with purple and yellow, and also with blue and orange. Those are complementary colors, direct complementary colors, and therefore they will stand out right next to each other, and they will also cancel or neutralize each other out, okay, when you mix them together, when you put them on top of each other. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that if you have anything that has red, okay, kind of like an inflamed acne, rosacea, or port wine stain, or anything like that that's permanent, you actually need to color correct that instead of concealing it. A lot of us, of course, it's a common mistake. We automatically just conceal it, if we don't get the coverage, we pack it on, pack it on, pack it on. Next thing you know, you're questioning why your concealer is cakey. Because you caked it on. Alright, so, and that's just, normal instinct. You just keep piling on the makeup until you get the coverage. But sometimes, it doesn't take that much to conceal if you color correct it first, okay? So today I'm going to demonstrate to you guys how to color correct using green, okay? And then again, green neutralizes anything that's red. Now, when you guys are color correcting, make sure that whatever you're color correcting is permanent or semi-permanent. What does that mean? It means that that color is not going to go away throughout the course of the day. Okay, so say that you have an inflamed acne, alright, much like I have right now, right here, okay, and it's red, and it's going to be there for days, okay, so I know it's not going to go away, like throughout the course of the day. So I can color correct that, okay, because what happens, like, if you have anything that's red, and that redness goes away, alright, what's going to happen is that you're putting that green on top of it, and that redness go away, you're going to be left out with green. So that's why your skin is going to look green, because there's nothing that's neutralizing it, or nothing that's countering it, okay? So color correcting is more ideal for some imperfections that are permanent or semi-permanent, like inflamed acne, port wine stain, rosacea, okay? Now if you guys just have, a little bit of rashes or allergies, and that's going to go away like in a couple of hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, then you don't want to color correct that, because when that goes away, you're going to left out once again with green. Alright, so the same thing applies with the other color. Okay, darkening in the under eye is more blue. It's the blue veins that's seeping through the thin skin, and therefore the most ideal color corrector for that is salmon, because it's got a little bit of that orange undertone, and orange cancels out blue. And then for those lavender color creams or color correctors, of course, you know, that's great for anything or any imperfections that yellow. Sometimes you will have a birthmark that looks kind of white, but it's not really. It's just like yellow or a pale yellow. Then therefore you can color correct it using the color corrector purple or lavender or lilac, you know, whatever you prefer to call it. Okay, so today we're going to concentrate on green, and I'm going to show you how to color correct by demonstrating in my little kind of like breakout right here, and also on my port wine stain on my shin. Okay, and I do have that. For those of you who knows me and have seen me wearing shorts, I have kind of like that port wine stain in my shin, and I'm going to demonstrate that today. Okay, so for this demonstration, I'm just going to use my camouflage palette from Makeup Forever. Okay, and this is number 5, which has the yellow corrector, the olive corrector, the green corrector, the lilac corrector, and the salmon corrector. So for those of you guys who are aspiring makeup artists or professional makeup artists, this is definitely a palette that I would recommend for you guys to carry on your kits, okay, so that way you have all the adjusters in one palette. So we're going to zoom in. Alright, so now that we're zoomed in, you can see this red spot right here, and I know that this spot's not going to go away as far as the color is concerned. Okay, it's going to be red for a while. It's even going to be red for days. So it's more ideal to color correct that, okay, rather than conceal it. So that way it doesn't get cakey looking on you. So I'm just going to use my color corrector green. And as you can see, you know, when you apply it, it looks kind of green, but when you blend it, okay, it neutralizes the red and you don't see the green at all. Okay, so there you go. Alright, so now the red is neutralized. Now you can either conceal that, okay, if you wish, but you know, now that it's neutralized, you probably don't even need to conceal it. You probably just need to put your foundation on, alright? Because if you put concealer on that, it can get cakey, you know, because you already have product layered in there, and then you put concealer on, and then you put your foundation, and then next thing you question, why is your makeup so cakey looking? Because you caked it on, alright? So at this point, all you need to do is just basically apply your foundation on top of that, okay? And just to even the skin tone out. Okay, then blend. Alright, so once you finish blending, you'll see that the redness is gone, alright, and you completely color corrected the red area. All you need to do is set that with powder so that it lasts all day. Okay, so now that my red blemish is gone, we're going to move on to my port wine stain. So I'm going to show you how to color correct that. Okay, so as you can see, here's my port wine stain in my shin right here, and I know for a fact that that's permanent. It's not going to go away. So again, the most ideal way to correct that is through Color Corrector Green. And I'm just going to use my Makeup Forever Color Corrector palette, okay, in the green. And just with the concealer brush, I'm just going to again color correct that area right there, okay. And as you can see right here, okay, it's color correcting the redness. Alright, see that spot right there is red, and this spot where I put the color corrector is neutralizing. Okay, so you just do that to whatever you need to conceal. Again, if it looks green like that, it means that you need to shear and blend it out. Okay, once that cancels the red, it's also going to cancel the green. Okay, just like so. Okay, and just shear that out as much as you can, and I'm just going to do the whole thing, or cover the whole thing as much as I can, shear it out. Again, you don't want to cake it on. Caking it on is human error. You're the one who's caking that product on. Make sure to shear it out, and just until you can see it's neutralizing the red. Okay, if it looks a little green, don't worry about it, because you can, you know, put foundation or concealer on top of that so that it looks more like a flesh tone. Alright, so I'm going to take it all the way up here. So my, you know, port wine stain is pretty big. Alright, so It's going to take a little bit of effort, but that's okay, because once it's concealed, it's going to look great, and I can wear shorts without being worried about it. So it's very, very important that, you know, you don't cake it on. So the key is don't cake it on, you know, just neutralize it, okay? Because there's a fine, fine line between caking it on to cover it and really putting a little bit more effort to just really neutralize it so that way it doesn't look really, really cakey. So once it neutralizes it like that, okay, especially in a big area, a big spot, much like this, the next thing you're going to need to do is conceal it. Alright, so concealing it is going to further cover that, especially on large spots. Alright, so I'm just going to use my concealer palette. I'm just going to neutralize or conceal that further. Again, do not cake it on. Even though you're layering all these products, it doesn't have to be caked on. Alright, so once you blend that, alright, and you pretty much conceal it, it should not, again, look cakey. Look at that, it looks like my skin, alright? And then the next thing I'm going to do, because we use cream, we're just going to set that with powder. Okay, again, make sure that you're pressing the powder and you are not wiping it, alright? So that way you're not erasing what you just did. And your puff, or you can use a buff brush or a sponge, much like this one, making sure that it's not picking up the color, so you're just really pressing it and rolling it right into the skin. Alright, and there you go. Look how beautifully concealed that, and that's what it looks like when you color adjust it first and then put concealer or foundation on top. Alright, so there you go. That's your color corrector green in the works. Okay, and there you have it. So that's how you can color correct using green. Okay, so anything that has redness to it, that's not going to go away. Color correcting is more ideal than concealing. And the same thing applies to anything that's blue. You can use a salmon corrector for that. Or anything that is yellow, you can use the lilac corrector for that. And of course, anything that's purple, you can correct with yellow. So thank you so much for joining me, and make sure to watch the next segment, which is going to be color adjusters. And until then, I'll see you guys soon. Bye!